That's Fortune 500. But the Fortune 500, you know, they're really focused overseas more than they are domestically for most of these companies. A lot of franchising companies that I worked with over the years, you know, they sold off their company stores and turned them into franchise stores, so they could focus on, you know, international. So what I tell folks is that, you know, back to the disruptors, back to the emerging companies and the companies that are going into more rapid growth, that's where the opportunity is. You know, those folks value gray hair a lot more than they do, you know, young kids with the technology skills. They want people that can help them get to the next level and have the, you know, the battle scars and the experience to ensure that they do, as opposed to somebody that, you know, might be able to help them with an app but can't really figure out how to craft strategy.
You know, I think you had mentioned earlier the difference between a generalist and you know, someone who's very specific in a specific vertical. To your point, I think they start to look more towards the gray hair and the generalist who has a very robust portfolio of experience, you know, in the business development and the sales and the technology and corporate development.
Right.
And, you know, all of those areas, so that they can now wear multiple hats, as it were, for those smaller startup environments.
Right. So there's a much bigger premium, you know, for baby boomers in emerging companies than you know, even private equity guys. There are so many. It depends on the model that they follow, because some are, you know, like Berkshire Hathaway. Some follow that model. Few, you know, the buy and hold. More people are into you know, something they can buy cheap and sell dear and make a lot of money. Their time horizons is very short, so they need specific things accomplished that will leverage, you know, their purchase price and give them, you know, a bigger return. So they're not so interested in generalists. They're more interested in specialists that can come out, especially people that, you know, that may be good at taking a company private, or, you know, from being public, or vice versa, somebody that can take a private company and to an IPO. But that's, again, you have to understand the playing field. So private equity situations are different than startups and emerging companies or Fortune 500, you know, legacy brands.
And even the funds themselves are specialized. It'll be like industrial and manufacturing, private equity fund, all they do.
Right, right, right. The one thing that I found is interesting, though, to me at least, is whereas, how are we doing on time? Oh, we're way over. So unless anybody's got any thoughts or questions, I'll make this my last point. To some extent, it'll be a self-serving point too. But whereas I, you know, preach to my search candidates to demonstrate specialization, you know, in a resume, and you know, you can have 1 or 2 or 3 resumes that might focus on one area or another depending on the situation. What I've found is that for independent consultants, the client is less concerned about specialization, especially with respect to the industry. They're more interested in, you know, if you've got a business development need, they're not so worried about if the business development experience you has was exactly in their industry segment, because they appreciate that, you know, things have changed and the learning is transferable. So that was an interesting finding to me. You know, there's some, you know, needs obviously that are very specialized. If you're going to, you know, upgrade a software package or something, for instance, then you might need to have experience with that particular software package or whatever you're upgrading. But for more of the strategic kind of roles that a independent consultant might play, you know, more generalized experience is not necessarily a handicap. I hope this was helpful. You know, at least you'll go back and see Heartbreak Ridge. It was, you know, it was a campy movie, but there were some interesting spots in it. But I think the whole point is, you know, think about ways to improvise and adapt to the current environment, and got to understand the playing field to do that. Well, thanks again for coming. I hope to see you at the next meeting. And if you want to stick around and, you know, continue the conversation, you're welcome to.